Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a wonderful Friday afternoon. Mike Beverly here. I'm excited to share with you some information about a project that I'm just about done with, and that is my first book. Yes, after a year of chronicling the life that I grew up with and in, and the family life that I grew up with and in during the late 50s and early 60s. I just wanted to share with you some information about how I grew up and why I've written this book. So the title of today's broadcast is Everyone has a book within them, I feel. Everyone. So just wanted to share that information with you. And I believe everyone does have a book in them. So welcome, my friend Kathy from Los Angeles, California. So if you can hear me okay, put a Y or a yes in the comments. That's a great information to share. And just begin going this live thing on LinkedIn, and it's really amazing to see that. So again, I think there are three follow through with doing their own book. Number one is, and one of the biggest motivations I feel like that people should have for writing their own book is the personal story that you will share with people can help them and glean some information and insights into their own lives. So whether your story was challenging, whether your story was positive, and it might not just be a life experience, it might be a business success story. So that's great information that you can share with people. So, number one, your personal story can have a valuable impact on people. So, be sure to keep that in consideration, whether you've thought about writing a book or not. So, whether you're on the live broadcast currently or you're on a replay, put a Y or yes in the comments if you've decided or if you've ever thought about writing your own book. So just put a Y or a yes in the comments. So the other reason I think people like myself hesitate in writing a book that they may truly have in the depths of their soul something valuable to offer society is some barriers, self-imposed barriers that we put up there. So one of my self-imposed barriers was that I barely got through high school because I was such a poor student, didn't know at the time that I was actually a dyslexic. Didn't know that until I was a freshman in college and had a horrible time reading, certainly couldn't write very well. So I thought I was a horrible writer, a terrible writer. And so that was one of the barriers. But many times, people in my life, when they had heard stories about growing up, welcome my friend Bridget from New England. Thank you for popping on and sharing and being here with us today. So, but I kept saying, no, I can't write a book. I'm a horrible writer, just not couldn't do very well at that. So one of the things that I finally realized when I started doing a little content on LinkedIn that yes, maybe I could write the book. And a book that I read by a gentleman who had suffered through some really horrible times from the time he was 3 years old and up. His father abandoned him. And his grandmother not only protected him and his mother emotionally, but financially. And what was ironic was this grandmother, it was her son that abandoned this gentleman who wrote the book that inspired me because my grandfather was my protector when my father growing up could be somewhat abusive, not only to me, but to my mother. And that's inspired me to start writing my book. And it really inspired me because my grandfather protected me a lot as I was growing up from age 5 on when we moved back to our family farm in Virginia. So you may have some inspiration from, like I said, from a personal story. I'm hearing more and more in the last 3 years, people are having pivot to change their lives, change their careers completely because of what's happened in our world with the pandemic. So I'm hearing those types of stories. So, and several people have written books about it. Some people are writing books about people that they lost, close family members they lost, moms and dads who lost children as a result of the pandemic, and some of the aftermath of the pandemic. People are losing family members as a result of that. So whatever your story might be, it would be good to get it out. And that's my final point, is that this can be therapeutic for you, just like it was for me. And here's an example. On June 18th, 2022, my 69th birthday, I decided, after reading the gentleman's book that I mentioned earlier, and I don't mind telling you, it was Everyday Legacy by Cody Shawane. Really wonderful book. I would encourage everybody to do that. And he, in his book, the whole thesis of the book is every day is a legacy. Be grateful, take advantage of that day, and be grateful for the people around you. And be sure to tell those people you love them, you appreciate them, and you're grateful for them. And that's his everyday legacy message. But he inspired me to write the book. And on that day, that morning of my birthday, I got up at 7 a.m. and I started writing. And I wrote for 7 hours, the first 7 or 8 chapters of my 20-chapter book that day. And as we were on the way into Orlando, where we live about an hour away, my wife looked over at me and she said, "Mike, what's going on with you?" And I said, "Why? Why do you ask?" She said, "You just seem so relaxed. Your face has a peace about it and an aura of just calm." And I said, "I had a catharsis this morning. I had some therapy moments talking and writing my book, and it's been just extremely inspirational." So she said, "Wow, you look so amazingly calm, more so than I've seen you in a long, long time." So my last point in today's presentation is your book, whether you ever publish it or not, is probably going to be very therapeutic for you. And if you decide to publish it, it probably can offer society some great lessons, as many people have told me that my book will be as well. But I do have a friend that's an author, publisher, editor, and she's told me, "Mike, whether you publish the book or not, it's changed your life, hasn't it?" And the answer is yes, it has. So whether you publish your book or not, I encourage you to do it and get it out of you. Whatever experience it might be, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, or whether you have a success story or a pivot story, write it. It doesn't matter if it's 50 pages or it's 200 pages. It will be an impact to society and will impact other people's lives in a very positive way, I assure you. So please reach out to me. Put in the comments below if you have ever thought about writing your book. So put in the comments the word author. If you've thought about or think now, after hearing this presentation, you might like to be an author and author your book, whether you ever publish it or not. But if you've thought about it and maybe this information has motivated you or inspired you to write your book, type author in the comments below. And if you'd like to reach out to me to schedule some time to chat some more about how I went through this process to where I'm ready to turn over my manuscript to the editor in just a couple of weeks, and the book will be done probably by the end of the year, but published probably by the beginning of 2024. So if you'd like to reach out to me, go to www.mikebeverly.life. And hopefully this information has been helpful. And congratulations, my friend Kathy Painter. I'm excited to read your book because you have such an amazing amount of knowledge in the health and wellness space, and will be very valuable and very insightful to the general public. So everyone, Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thanks for popping on, my friends Kathy, Bridget. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye.